Librarian here with another episode of the Book Report, sharing all the book and library-related news you need to know about in November 2017. So I'm going to start with books because I've got a lot of library news, and so we'll end with that. All right, so books first. The first one is The Last Mrs. Parrish by Liv Constantine. It's a mesmerizing debut psychological thriller full of delicious twists about a coolly manipulative woman who worms her way into the lives of wealthy golden couple from Connecticut to achieve the privileged life she wants. So, some women get everything, and some women get everything they deserve. Amber Patterson is fed up. She's tired of being a nobody, a plain, invisible woman who blends into the background. She deserves more, a life of money and power like the blonde-haired, blue-eyed goddess Daphne Parrish takes for granted. To everyone in the exclusive town of Bishop's Harbor, Connecticut, Daphne and her husband Jackson, the beautiful philanthropist and the confident real estate mogul, are a golden couple straight out of a fairy tale, blessed with two lovely young daughters. Amber's envy could eat her alive if she didn't have a plan. Amber uses Daphne's compassion and caring to insinuate herself into the family life, the first step in a meticulous scheme to undermine her. Before long, Amber is Daphne's closest confidant, traveling to Europe with the Parrish family and growing closer to Jackson. But a skeleton from her past may undermine everything that Amber has worked towards, and if it is discovered, her well-laid plan may fall to pieces. With shocking turns and dark secrets that will keep you guessing until the very end, The Last Mrs. Parrish is a fresh, juicy, and utterly addictive thriller from a diabolically imaginative talent. And it got a star review from Publishers Weekly, Kirkus Library Journal, and it was a Library Reads pick for the month of November. So for fans of Gone Girl and Girl on a Train, this one's for you. All right, next is from one of my favorite authors, Wild in Love by Eloisa James. This is the first book in her dazzling new series set in Georgian period, and it glows with her trademark wit, sexy charm, and introduces a large, eccentric family. Lord Alaric Wilde, son of the Duke of Lindau, is the most celebrated man in England, revered for his dangerous adventures and rakish good looks. Arriving home from years abroad, he has no idea of his own celebrity until his boat is met by mobs of screaming ladies. Alaric escapes to his father's castle, but just as he grasps that he's not only famous but notorious, he encounters the very private, very witty Mrs. Willa Finch. Willa presents the facade of a serene young lady to the world. Her love of books and bawdy jokes is purely for the delight of her intimate friends. She wants nothing to do with a man whose private life is splashed all over every newspaper. Alaric has never met a woman he wanted for his own until he meets Willa, and he's never lost a battle. But a spirited woman like Willa isn't going to make it easy. And this one also got a star review from Kirkus, and of course myself, because I love Eloisa James and historical romance. All right, the next one is another one I'm really excited about to read this month, The Last Castle by Denise Kiernan, and the subtitle is The Epic Story of Love, Loss, and American Royalty in the Nation's Largest Home. So, the fascinating true story behind the magnificent Gilded Age mansion Biltmore, the largest, grandest residence ever built in the United States. The story of Biltmore spans world wars, the Jazz Age, the Depression, and generations of the famous Vanderbilt family, and features a captivating cast of real-life characters including F. Scott Fitzgerald, Thomas Wolfe, Teddy Roosevelt, John Singer Sargent, James Whistler, Henry James, and Edith Wharton. Orphaned at a young age, Edith Stuyvesant Dresser claimed lineage from one of New York's best-known families. She grew up in Newport and Paris, and her engagement and marriage to George Vanderbilt was one of the most watched events of Gilded Age society. But none of this prepared her to be mistress of Biltmore House. Before their marriage, the wealthy and bookish Vanderbilt had dedicated his life to creating a spectacular European-style estate on 125,000 acres of North Carolina wilderness. He summoned the famous landscape architect Frederick Law Olmsted to tame the grounds, collaborated with celebrated architect Richard Morris Hunt to build a 175,000 square foot chateau, filled it with priceless art and antiques, and erected a charming village beyond the gates. Newlywed Edith was now mistress of an estate nearly 3 times the size of Washington, D.C., and benefactress of the village and surrounding rural area. When fortune shifted and changing times threatened her family, her home, and her community, it was up to Edith to save Biltmore and secure the future of the region and her husband's legacy. The Last Castle is the unique American story of how the largest house in America flourished, faltered, and ultimately endured to this day. And it was an indie pick for November. And she's recently been on tour in the area also, since it's, basically a local story. The next one is one that I'm also excited about. Haven't started reading it yet, but I have checked it out. La Belle Sauvage, which is volume 1 of the Book of Dust by Philip Pullman, and where he returns to the parallel world of his groundbreaking novel, The Golden Compass, to expand on the story of Lyra. Malcolm Polstead is the kind of boy who notices everything but is not much noticed himself, and so perhaps it was inevitable that he would become a spy. Malcolm's parents run an inn called the Trout on the banks of the River Thames, and all of Oxford passes through its doors. Malcolm and his daemon, Asta, routinely overhear news and gossip and the occasional scandal. But during a winter of unceasing rain, Malcolm catches wind of something new: intrigue. He finds a secret message inquiring about a dangerous substance called dust, and the spy it was intended for finds him. When she asks Malcolm to keep his eyes open, he sees suspicious characters everywhere. The explorer Lord Asriel, clearly on the run, enforcement agents from the Magisterium, Egyptian named Coram with warnings just for Malcolm, and a beautiful woman with an evil monkey for a daemon. All are asking about the same thing: a girl, just a baby, named Lyra. Lyra is the kind of person who draws people in like magnets, and Malcolm will brave any danger and make shocking sacrifices to bring her safely through the storm. And it got a star review from Publishers Weekly. All right, next we have a nonfiction juvenile book, Her Right Foot by Dave Eggers, and it was illustrated by Sean Harris. If you had to name a statue, any statue, odds are good you'd mention the Statue of Liberty. But have you seen her? She's in New York. She's holding a torch, and she's in mid-stride, moving forward, but why? In this fascinating and fun take on nonfiction, Dave Eggers and Sean Harris investigate a seemingly small trait of America's most emblematic statue. What they find is about more than history, more than art. What they find in the Statue of Liberty's right foot is the powerful message of acceptance that is essential of an entire country's creation. And it received a star review from Publishers Weekly, Kirkus School Library Journal, and it was a bulletin for the Center of Children's Books, Book of Distinction for November. All right, so that's it for the books. We also have a lot of other books, but so many busy things going on. First of all, programs that are coming up. If you are an e-reader or e-audiobook listener, we have a winter reading program just for you called Dashing Through the Digital Snow, and it officially starts on November 5th and goes through December 17th. And if you read an ebook or audiobook or download it, and then you log what you read in our online tracking program, you could be entered to win a Kindle, and we're giving one away per week. Well, 4. We're giving 4 away, courtesy of our friends in the library. So if you read, log it, and you could win. We're doing a Harry Potter Christmas ornament decorating party at Marshville on Tuesday, November 21st. That's at 4 o'clock. We've also got exciting movie tie-in stuff. We've got a couple of Wonder programs coming up, one at Union West, and then we also have one here called Choose Kind on, here being Monroe, on Monday, November 13th. That's at 4 o'clock, and we're doing crafts and activities and also having some movie giveaways, including advance passes to see the movie. So you have to come then. At Waxhaw, we're doing a teen program to celebrate Star Wars, and the release of that's on Thursday, November 30th at 5 o'clock. And at Union West, they're having a magic program called That Magic Kid with Colin a leisure. That's on Wednesday, November 15th at 4 o'clock. So those are just some of the highlights. And also, the book club, the final draft, is reading one of my favorite books this month, Codename Verity. And we meet at the Southern Range Brewery on Thursday, November 28th at 7 o'clock. So if you want to discuss that or read it and then discuss it, you should come then. It'll be fun. So that's just the highlights for this month. But we also have a really big announcement. The Monroe Library is going to be closed the entire month of December because we're getting completely refurnished. We're getting new carpet and new paint and new furniture, and we're rearranging where everything's laid out. So it's going to be really exciting, but we won't be open in December. All the other locations will be open, so you can visit there, get your books there, do computer classes, job 101s, everything will be full service there, just not in Monroe. But you can still return your books here. I think that's it. Like I said, a lot of things coming up. So this will probably be the last one until the beginning of the year. So I hope everyone has a happy holidays and a happy Thanksgiving. And until next time, Union County, keep reading.